Hello. Hi, Amanda. That's okay. I'm gonna probably do multiple streams like this. I don't know how many people are here. Probably not a ton right now, but I love this music, man. This Metroid music is so good. So what I'm gonna do, what we're gonna do is watch Nintendo's E3 2002 press conference, and like I thought this was a fun idea because everybody loves directs and stuff, Nintendo directs. I thought it'd be cool if we went back and watched some of Nintendo's old E3 presentations and stuff like that. And I kind of want to go through, if people like it, I want to go through all of them, like up until whenever they started directs. And then once we get through all of them, we can kind of do like a tier list or something like that. I think that would be fun. But yeah, if anybody is watching, and let me know if the audio and everything is good. What's up, Mark? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I mean it's been like what, over like a year at least since I streamed. Hi, Yassi. Lord Shoddy, what up? Awesome, audio is great. Sweet. How you doing, Yassi? How you doing, Mark? How's everybody doing? Gonna get started here in a second. Probably just gonna wait a little bit, see if a couple more people will show up. But so to give a background on this, hi Wilmer, I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. So 2002, I was not even 10 years old when this happened. So imagine a little 9-year-old Naveed watching this. I didn't watch this. I wasn't watching like E3 presentations back then. It would have been cool if I did, but I'm going into this like a 9-year-old Naveed. So let's just turn this down, and then there we go. So we got this E3 presentation here. What else was I going to say? So the GameCube was out for about probably like 6 months or so at this point. It was not out for too long. So they were kind of like trying to build momentum during this press conference. And I think they had a lot to show off and a lot to really, we had a lot to be excited about. This was the oldest one I could find. I mean, there's stuff from, this is the longest full one I could find, I should say. So like, it seems like this is the point where press conferences started to be kind of more like presentations for fans and also the press. So I mean, they're called press conferences for a reason. And back then, these shows were not really for the fans as much as they were to build up momentum from the press, get your stock risen and stuff like that. I don't know. Over time, it became more of a thing where people would do these presentations more for fans over time. Chris the Fields, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So, I mean, might as well get started. I think I'm going to go through this. We'll probably pause randomly during this presentation. Like I don't know if we're going to go through it just fully, because I think I want to discuss some of the things in this one. So if they show a trailer or something, we can discuss the trailer. So we'll be pausing here and there, and there may be some ads as well. I don't know. Is Satoru Iwata in this one? Yes, he is. I'm not sure if he was the president of Nintendo yet at this point. I think he became president in like 2003. So this might have been before he was president. But let's go ahead and full screen this. And I think might as well get started. Thank you to Nintendo World Report for uploading this to YouTube. It's really cool that all these people like archive this stuff. So let's get going. And let me know how the audio for this is as well. May 2002. Okay, so he was president literally as this E3 presentation happened. Yeah, as someone who didn't have a home Nintendo console until the Wii, this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of getting into Nintendo stuff. I got a GameCube around this time, so I didn't have a lot of games for it yet. Yeah, look at this old stuff. And once again, let me know if the audio is too loud or anything, or if it's like well balanced.
Thank you for joining us today at the Biltmore Bowl. A year ago at this time, when we last gathered as a group, we've essentially presented you a plan which focused on two new hardware platforms, Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube. Well, today,
obviously,
both those platforms have been
they had two
launched
platforms at this
into
point.
The three major world video game markets.
They were still doing handheld and
North
consoles.
America and Europe. And with the success of our Game Boy Advance business, our Game Boy business in North America has never been stronger. GameCube in this market currently is showing healthy momentum, and that's a function of retail inventories improving through the spring in combination with the rollout of some key games.
This is the kind of stuff they used to do during press conferences, like talk about sales and all that. They don't do that as much anymore.
We shipped 500,000 units at launch, and 80% sold through in the first week.
And people would get excited about sales figures and stuff like that.
You've already heard some numbers about Europe from other sources.
Because it's boring.
These are real numbers.
Yeah. I love hearing the crowd reaction to all this stuff, though. It's really funny.
So today now, as we look ahead to the next 12 months, our focus really shifts from hardware to software. And over the next 50 minutes or so, we'll be sharing with you the games that we believe will propel Nintendo to the #1 software share position in North America. We believe, and we hope you agree,
spoiler alert, that did not happen.
Games that we have ever brought to E3. In fact, we think that anyone has ever brought to E3. We will launch more major franchise titles in the next 9 months than in any 9-month period in Nintendo's history. And these games will include Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Star Fox.
Imagine though if they did that now.
Measured in the millions of units. We do continue to recognize the critical importance that our third-party partners play in our overall business mix. So here to talk a little bit about that component of our business is Mr. Satoru.
The Dreamcast was definitely on its last legs at this point. And there he is, Iwata. Because the Dreamcast came out in 1999.
A year ago, I told you about the Nintendo difference. The strategy we have already used.
Dude, I miss Iwata so much. He has so much character and personality.
We announced a broad new agreement with Namco to bring 8 new titles to Game Boy Advance this year and 6 to Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah, he spoke English in like every conference.
Included in those GameCube projects are not only Soul Calibur and 2 different role-playing games, but a wonderful shooting adventure starring Star Fox.
I think, okay, first pause of this. So going back to this point, it's like really interesting to think about all these like developer partnerships Nintendo and other companies would have, because it seems like you don't get that as much anymore. It's like these were kind of like exclusive style things. Like Star Fox game he's talking about was I don't know if they showed it here or if they're getting ready to show it, but that was Star Fox Assault. And then obviously they had Link in Soul Calibur, so that was cool. Like so they did a lot of these like developer partnerships for exclusive games back then, which I thought was pretty cool.
Namco and Sega are both partners in development of the Triforce Board, a form of Nintendo GameCube technology that will power arcade games.
And yeah, Iwata was taken from us way too
You are
soon.
probably aware that Square and a subsidiary in Japan will be generating new titles for both Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube. As all this indicates, our ties to independent third-party developers are now stronger than ever. And the strongest of all developers are working with Nintendo. But
I agree,
equally
Mark.
important is
It's
the
sad.
growth of our talented and experienced internal development groups who are working on many groundbreaking projects.
And this was always a problem for Nintendo. Like, third party was always a big problem after the Super Nintendo.
Third-party titles means more high-quality Nintendo games than ever before, and high-quality games for players of all ages. And Peter, why don't you show them what we mean?
This,
Some of you have asked us
Okay.
to do perhaps a little more for the older, more mature gamers.
and this is another
Let me
thing.
answer that question with this video.
This is another thing with Nintendo, and I tweeted about this before. So, like, they were always viewed as, like, a childish company. Like, they were the console for kids mostly, and they wanted to really get away from that image, especially with the GameCube. So, one thing about this presentation I remember was that they really tried to go hard at pushing those, like, more mature focused games.
Which is a collaboration between Nintendo and our partners at Retro Studios.
Oh, you know I love Retro Studios. Oh man, this would have made 9-year-old Naveed so hyped seeing this.
Far reaches of space.
And I think they had announced this before this presentation, but this was really like the first time that they
It's a powerful,
showed off kind of like a more finalized version of the game.
deadly secret.
God, Metroid Prime is such a good game. They had a weird animation there for getting out of the morph ball. That wasn't in the final version of the game. Call to Nintendo to bring it to Switch. Yes, please. I mean, Metroid Prime Trilogy on Switch. People, like, that's been rumored forever. So hopefully it comes out.
This holiday, step into the gravity suit. Behind the visor.
Do I think 1 is the best of the trilogy?
That's out of this
It's my favorite. It's my favorite game of all time. I think...
Metroid Prime.
Oh, God.
She's back.
She's back. Up to this point, up to that point, it had been 8 years since another previous Metroid game, which was Super Metroid, I believe. So, yeah. So 1 was my 1 is my favorite. 3 is my second favorite, and then 2 is a close third. They're all really good. I think at the time when 3 came out, I said 3 may have been the best game, but I enjoyed 1 more just because of the impact it had. But I think 1 might just be a better game at this point. I have to go back and play 3. So yeah, there's a big hitter for the GameCube already coming out in 2002 holiday.
Leading candidate for Game of the Show, so we're eager to get
I believe that. That would have been game of the show for sure.
We clearly recognize that it will take more than just one game to convince you that we're really committed to this older demographic. So take a look at these next two, one from our partners at Silicon Knights and the other from our old friends at Capcom.
Yeah, we don't have a single game. We haven't had a Metroid game.
In the quiet
Well,
town of Raccoon City,
unless you
during
count
summer of
Samus Returns.
1998, the
We haven't had
truest
one in
nightmare began.
11 years. Okay, and here we go. More mature games. Capcom bringing it with Resident Evil.
Look out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of it.
Yeah, when will Prime 4 come? I don't know. It got restarted in 2019, so I don't really expect it for another year or two, unfortunately.
Filled with booby traps, horrific mutant beasts, and flesh-eating zombies around every corner.
Oh, don't worry. I like the buddy system we have here.
STARS Alpha Team members battle the undead in search of the missing Bravo team.
Oh, this.
Any luck, Jill?
No, nothing.
So yeah, Capcom was really, really high on the game, or Nintendo really got Capcom to help out a lot.
Sent to investigate
And yeah,
the
Metroid Prime
mysterious
did get
happenings.
restarted. They basically
disappeared.
canned the first part. Yeah, what Mark said. It could be a Switch 2.0 launch title, who knows?
Soon, you will discover the truth. Lifelike visuals and gameplay.
So
guaranteed
Resident
to
Evil and
evoke
Resident Evil
the
Zero were
fear.
both
Coming
exclusive
soon,
GameCube
Resident
games until
Evil
they
0. And
got
available
re-released on the
now,
Wii, I
Resident
guess.
Evil. Defeat your destiny and live. Who will make it out alive?
Those were two really big games on the GameCube. At least for like a more mature audience. And then this is the Silicon Knights game they were talking about. Nah, Mark, I mean, there's only a couple of you here chatting, so it's no problem at all. I love chatting with all y'all in the chat. This is Eternal Darkness.
Is it the light?
Which I've actually never played through completely, but I hear it's crazy.
The shadows? Your fear. This June, the terror will consume you. Your eyes will deceive you.
Yeah,
And
this was
nothing will be what it seems.
this was a cool game when it came out.
A story centuries in the making. A thriller that blurs the line between reality
Yeah, Mark,
and illusion.
this totally looks like a home video release. Like,
Eternal darkness.
it sounds like a movie trailer, right? Okay, so that game's coming out in June 2002. So far, they've shown like 3 bangers right off the bat that are coming out this same year. So far, like as a press conference, this seems pretty good. And Wilmer, if you don't know anything about Eternal Darkness, one really cool thing about it was that they had these like these effects in the game that made you kind of like think about reality, I guess. So like one of the tricks they did in the game was they had a volume bar come up and they would increase the game volume randomly, and it would look like your TV was actually increasing in volume, although it was just the game doing it. It's really dated now because a lot of these like the volume bar looks different now on every TV, but back then it was very, very convincing. What's up, Terry? Tentacle Touchy, how you doing? Frankly, Prime 4 should have been from Retro at the get-go. Allowing the people behind Federation Force to be involved was foolish. Yeah, I think Namco also had something to do with Prime 4 to begin with, and they just apparently they weren't doing well, so it would have been nice if Retro started out with Prime 4. It might have come out by now, so I don't know. I'm still crossing my fingers, though, that it's going to be great. So, and yeah, thanks for being here, Terry. Thanks for joining in.
I think that makes it perfectly clear. We will successfully compete for all gamers. We also happen to have a system in our lineup that has always had very broad-based appeal.
Yeah, Retro
and
is...
that's Game Boy.
They haven't made a bad game so far,
Currently,
in my
Game
opinion.
Boy Advance is the best-selling system in North America. And in fact, since its launch last June, it instantly became the fastest-selling system ever, and nothing has even come close.
That's crazy to think about.
At this point in
Game Boy
time,
Advance
we've already
being
sold
that
through
popular.
6 million units, and by the time we all meet here next year, that
Federation
number
Force was meant to be a
will more than
DSiWare
double.
game too, so I just don't
There's
have
no
faith in
question
Dev.
that
Yeah,
Game Boy Advance
I like
benefits
Federation
from
Force for what it
being
was, but
really the only
it came out at the
wireless system
worst
that allows you
time.
to take games with you when you leave your house. But at the same time,
Yeah, early days of
central to
GBA,
its
man.
success is
It's
an
amazing. Like
every
we
gaming
destroyed it,
system
I
is a
guess, and then
spectacular library.
Switch and
By
PS4
year-end,
probably
that
destroyed it in
library
terms of
will
sales
swell
too.
to over 300 games.
That's a lot of games for the
Over
first couple
next
years of
few
a system.
days, you're going to hear us talking an awful lot about our game giants. And standing tall within that illustrious group is Game Boy Advance. Have a look.
It's just gonna be like a sizzle reel of games for the Game Boy Advance. Oh, Metroid Fusion. Oh. So, okay, I gotta pause it there. This is back when Nintendo was really getting Metroid back into everything because, like, now we have huge pauses between Metroid games. But Metroid Fusion and Metroid Prime came out on the same day. Like, that was one of the greatest days for Metroid fans ever. And they were both incredible. So the fact that, and then they had Metroid Zero Mission that came out later, as well as Metroid Prime 2 on the GameCube. So they had 4 Metroid games in one generation. Like, I would have been, I was like so happy at that point. This game, yeah, Metroid Fusion was so good. Yeah, the SP came out pretty soon after the original GBA. The fact that the original GBA didn't have a backlight was kind of crazy. Game & Watch gallery. This is Link's Awakening. Obviously people happy about Zelda. And they're showing off the 4 Swords stuff, which is cool. Golden Sun. So I guess the original Golden Sun was already out at this point. That's the sequel, Lost Ages. You only committed to GBA once Pokemon Sapphire dropped? Yeah. I didn't have a GBA until way later, actually, so one thing I also want to mention is, like, the Switch now kind of reminds me of the Game Boy Advance back then, because the Game Boy Advance was actually, like, pretty heavy on the ports. Like, Nintendo was porting all their Super Nintendo games onto the Game Boy Advance. There was no original Mario game on the Game Boy Advance. Like a traditional 2D Mario game, there was not one on the Game Boy Advance. They were all ports. So you would get original releases here and there, but the Game Boy Advance feels a lot like the Switch to me back then. This is another port. This is a Super Nintendo game. It was impressive to see these on a handheld at the time, but they're still ports. So. I never played that generation of Pokemon games at all until later.
Software coming this year. But as we promised last year,
Xenoblade X, Star Fox,
understand the full power
Devil's Third, maybe?
of Game until you
You'll
connect
never
it
do that.
to Nintendo GameCube. This combination is at the heart of what we call connectivity and is central, we feel.
Before we get to this next part, I want to answer this question, Wilmer. Why do I think the Wii U failed? I think it was definitely a combination of reasons. I think one of the reasons was definitely the name. It was like, a lot of people will say no, the name had nothing to do with it or the console itself, but I think the design of the console as well as the name really did confuse people. And Nintendo didn't do a good job in terms of advertising what this was. They didn't make sure people knew this was a completely new system. So that was an issue, and I think the games, like, people didn't get on board. Third parties didn't get on board. Nintendo did as much as they could to kind of bolster the lineup, but you can't make a system just with Nintendo games. Even though a lot of people buy Nintendo systems just for Nintendo games, you can't have that for everybody. People thought it was an add-on. Yeah, like, I've heard stories about people going in and trying to, just buy the controller, or, buying a Wii U game and trying to put it in their Wii and it won't work, stuff like that. So advertising was a problem. The games didn't appeal to everybody. They didn't have a huge lineup. And I mean, I don't know. I think they tried to push the casual audience a lot still, because they still had their Wii Fit line, and that audience kind of moved away from the Wii. The Wii was kind of stagnant at the end of its lifetime. Even though it sold really well at the beginning, it kind of stagnated towards the end. So yeah. There's a lot of reasons why the Wii U failed, but I mean, those are a few.
To expanding the nature of video games. Of course, we are aware that for several years,
Yep.
most people
I think it's a marketing
in our
failure
industry
in a lot of ways.
have wanted to talk about only one new form of connection, online. And we agree that online games to hold
Online stuff,
Online
they're
is
still
nothing new to us.
struggling with that to this day. This is
In
funny.
Japan, the original NES was equipped with a modem and connected by phone line to become a network.
And it feels like
terminal.
they're still using that
But
online
in
system from back then.
1988, two large issues for online games that have existed since then. First, can everyone enjoy online gaming right now? And second, can they ever be profitable? As a manufacturer, we are
This-
moving to support our third-party license.
This is funny because it seems like Nintendo's trying to say, like, online isn't ready yet. Like, at this point, it's true. Like, not everybody had a fast internet connection or a way to play online games, which is crazy to think about now. But back then, like, I know I had internet, but it wasn't very fast, obviously. So I feel like they're trying to really, they're trying to reason why they don't have a lot of online support for their systems yet.
Fees by refusing to take any portion of their online gaming fee. And we are pleased to see that the first online game from Nintendo GameCube, Sega's Phantasy Star Online, will therefore be shown this
So they did have a few online games, and Phantasy Star was one of them.
But for now,
But
online
Other
is
than
within
that-
reach of only a few gamers.
really not too many.
But connectivity is
MSN and
within
Yahoo
reach
Mail
of
does, yeah.
everyone. Let me show you the game Animal Crossing,
Okay,
with after great success in Japan.
so this is where they move from online to talking about connectivity, which was, I guess, their big thing back then. Instead of connecting online, they wanted to connect between systems. And this was a huge selling point early on for the GameCube and GBA, where they wanted you to connect the systems together to get different types of content. So they really pushed this. I never remember hearing a lot about it as a kid. Maybe I just wasn't interested. Maybe I just didn't have the information, like the news, to show me that stuff. But
Will be released at retail in America this September. It begins demonstrating the true magic of Nintendo connectivity. Take a look.
that's the first time Animal Crossing's coming to the US, man. It's such a huge series now, and I love it. I love Animal Crossing so much. I played this original GameCube version.
You will not believe this new GameCube game, Animal Crossing. It's so wild. You get to live in this cool village.
This probably didn't play very well with the
And
audience.
do all sorts of things that your parents won't let you do. Like get your own place. Get a job. Go be plane tickets to Paris. It's like living in your
Those
own
nods.
world, where you get to decide what to do. Just imagine hanging out with your new friends.
Dude, that's exactly what I thought, Carrie.
Or planting fruit and trees. But you can actually sell for bells. And that's the money they use in the village.
Animal Crossing wouldn't be what it is today without
you
the
can make use of these
pandemic.
bells.
I don't know. It definitely helped sell so well. Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, that's also a thing. Honestly, though, as a kid, if I was watching this would have hyped me up so much. Like, it's so different,
It's nighttime in the village.
and it just looks cute and fun. I would have been excited for this.
And the seasons even change in the village. When they change here. Whoa! I can also have up to 3 other people living in my village. Hey! It's 4 o'clock. My turn. Fortunately, I could save my village in this memory card. I could even
That's
plug in
right.
my
The Animal Crossing game on GameCube actually came with its own memory card, if you guys remember, because the save for each Animal Crossing game took up the entire memory card. If you had it was like a 60 block memory card, Animal Crossing took up like 59 blocks, which is the size that the space they were using blocks at the time. So I was thinking more along the lines that it couldn't have come out at a better time, but it probably still would have sold well. Yeah, no, it definitely came out at the best time. It's the reason why it's my game of the year last year. If it didn't come out, if there was no pandemic, I don't know if it would be my game of the year.
memory card to GameCube at my friend's house.
Pokemon Coliseum also
And then
took
you
up the
just hop
entire
on the
memory
train
card.
and visit my village.
Yeah,
Hey,
I never
Tommy.
played Pokemon
Hey, Tommy.
Coliseum back in the
Hey,
day,
guys.
so
I know I told you we could play
I
Animal
assume that
Crossing,
didn't
but
come with a new
I
memory
forgot.
card.
I have an idea. Hey, Cindy, if you let us play, I'll let you design clothes for
It
the
did.
characters in our
Oh,
village.
cool.
Deal. Nice work.
I would not have
Forgot to
expected
tell
that
you,
for some reason.
If you plug in your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube with this special Nintendo cable, you can unlock crazy functions in the game.
I do remember
My
Pokemon
favorite,
Box.
the island, which you can only unlock by
Dude,
having
the
your Game Boy
island is so
plugged in.
cool. Cap'n
Get
is the
this.
best.
You can download a
Where is
bunch of
Cap'n
NES
in New
games right to your
Horizons?
Game Boy Advance.
This was another thing.
Ever gonna eat dinner?
So they showed NES games. The original Animal Crossing had 13 or something NES games you could unlock and just play them. Obviously they don't do that now because they had the virtual console and then now Nintendo Switch Online, but that was a huge thing back then in this Animal Crossing game. It was so cool.
And check this out.
Dude, I
You
dress
can even sit
worse
in your
than this,
Animal
Mark.
Crossing
So
house and play video games inside the game. Hey, Toby, you want to hear my new talent too? Of course. Good thing I have an e-reader. You can swipe this card on your Game Boy Advance.
damn, E-Reader came out a lot earlier than I expected.
Like instantly updating your town's musical theme.
Oh my god.
Hey, let's get some new furniture. I'm done designing the new clothes.
I wish I had gotten into e-reader stuff, honestly. It seems really fun. Oh man.
Hey, change your spec! That's nothing. Watch this. Oh, not bad, Cindy. You guys are in trouble.
This is kind of a weird way to advertise Animal Crossing. I don't know, but it probably does the job.
Animal Crossing, the e-reader card, and the Nintendo GameCube Game Boy Advance cable, only from Nintendo.
New Horizons is almost a year old and we're still lacking instant features. Yeah, I agree.
The Animal Crossing audience is
At first I was all in on the update system because I thought they'd release things earlier, but no, now I'm kind of pissed about it. Xana, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. We're watching Nintendo's E3 2002 press conference. About 20 minutes in at this point, but
expanding in unexpected ways.
just a bit drowsy. I feel that. I had to take a nap today in the afternoon.
But now, when the children go to bed, many of their parents just keep playing. How we define connectivity with Animal Crossing is just one approach. You will see very different ones from Sega, from Square, from Electronic Arts with their Harry Potter games.
Harry Potter.
This approach not only has impact on gameplay, but also on sales.
Nintendo kind of kept these ideas going throughout their consoles. If you think about it, the Wii U was kind of a continuation of this connectivity idea. And also, thank you for the follow, Wilmer. Appreciate it.
Both Nintendo GameCube and Game Boy Advance.
And have a good night as well, Wilmer. Thanks for stopping by.
On the way. The motion sensor technology we debuted last year in Kirby's Dream and Tumble returns.
They're talking about motion sensitivity now. Think about the Wii.
Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube. In this application, the GameCube not only plays its own version of the software simultaneously, but uses the GBA as a controller with a motion sensor.
That's the thing you could do.
And in a new version of Donkey Kong for Game Boy Advance,
I just don't think this connectivity
your
stuff really
own
took
gameplay
off very
maps and
much.
courses on your GameCube and then transport them for play on your GBA. And with the new game, Stage Debut, you can use our exclusive GameEye device to put your own face
So
right into the game.
that thing never came out. The Game Eye, I believe they had tech demos showing like you taking a picture of yourself and then like putting yourself in this weird dancing thing, and I think I remember it being a lot like Tomodachi Life. If you guys have played that with Mii's, like a lot of these characters look like Mii's when you took a picture of your face and put your face in there. But that Game Eye thing never actually came out. I remember getting the GBA cable and using it for 4 games: Pokemon Channel, Animal Crossing, Wind Waker, and Coliseum. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how many other games really used it a lot other than those. Other than obviously like Four Swords and Crystal Chronicles, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Like those were the big ones for sure.
All this, we think, is both innovative and remarkable. It will quickly change the way we think about games. And of course, when the Wavebird wireless controller arrives next month,
The
we will also
Wavebird.
change the way
That
you
thing
connect
was so good. It is still so good.
no more cables on the living room floor. We believe
Mark, the PS1 was actually my first ever console, so it's weird that I became a Nintendo guy, like as I
But
grew
there
up.
is also great excitement this year on the GameCube itself, right, Peter?
Oh yeah.
I said at the outset that we believe we have the strongest lineup of games that we've ever had for any console, and I'll probably say that 100 times this week. But these are amongst the most recognized and popular characters in the history of our industry. And we're going to lead off with one that is from the amazing artists at Rare, and this one truly is destined for great stardom. Have a look.
So this is Rare, yep. Rare was just about getting ready to move over to Microsoft, and this was their last game, other than a couple GBA games. This was the last console Nintendo game. Got the GameCube fairly late with Double Dash. I mean, that's a good deal, though. I don't care what anyone says. Star Fox Adventures is a totally fine game. It's like if you go into it not thinking that it's a normal Star Fox game, I think it's totally fine. And it isn't a Star Fox game, it's Dinosaur Planet, but this is from back then, this was pretty hype. I wonder that too, Mark, sometimes. I feel like Microsoft didn't really take advantage of them as much as they could have.
Star Fox Adventures. Go extreme or go extinct.
Go extreme or go extinct. So, okay, I have a funny story about Star Fox Adventures real quick. Back when I was a kid, Star Fox Adventures came out, and it was rated teen, right? I've not played the beta build Terry yet. I probably should. I feel like that'd be cool. But anyway, Star Fox Adventures came out, and it was rated T. I think I was 11 when I tried to go buy it, 11 or 12. So we were at a Toys R Us. I picked it up. My mom said I could grab it, and then I could grab a game and then do whatever I want with it. Like she gave me the money to buy it. So I went up to the counter, took up Star Fox Adventures, and the damn cashier at the Toys R Us was like, "Hey, this game is rated teen. How old are you?" And I was like, I'm 12. I'm 12, you know, I'm right there. He's like, "Well, this game was made for teenagers 13 and up. Did you get your mom's permission to do this, to get this?" And like at the time, my mom was pretty strict about this stuff, so I went and told her, and I wasn't able to get the game because this cashier was like, hey, this game was made for kids 13 and up. Your son shouldn't be playing this. So I was so pissed off at that damn cashier. I was 12 years old, man. It's a freaking it's a Star Fox game. I don't know. That story has like stayed with me forever. Didn't Microsoft want Donkey Kong and didn't realize they wouldn't get it until they were far too ahead of the deal? I feel like I read that. I don't know about that. I never read that. But yeah, if it does happen, it's on mature games, which I understand.
On the
But
floor, you'll see and play games that will appeal to
nobody says anything about team games.
younger players.
What's up, Daniel?
freaks to extreme
Thanks for stopping by. How you doing?
And even those warped souls who prefer Mario's alter ego to the great plumber himself. So have a look at these.
Oh yeah, another sizzle reel. I love these sizzle reels. It like gives you a good idea what's coming out. And most of these are all exclusive too. Mario Party 4, great Mario Party game. I love the mini games of Mario Party 4. Now they haven't announced Crash 4 yet. Daniel, that might be another 20 years or so. Oh, that minigame was so good. The drawing one with the lines. Mario Party 4 had so many good minigames. Magical Mirror. This was an exclusive. I don't think it was very good. I never played it. And this was another exclusive. Warrior World. This was developed by Treasure, the same people who did Gunstar Heroes and Gunstar Superheroes and stuff like that, which is crazy. This game was pretty fun. I liked it. Obviously another exclusive because it's Wario. Yeah, Disney's kind of stopped. It's mostly just Kingdom Hearts at this point, right? That's the only Disney property with games.
I think you will agree that this is a very exciting group of games.
I agree. It's pretty exciting.
But don't worry, we still have a couple more things to show you. I'd like you to look at Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Dude, 2002 was packed. This year was awesome. Oh, that's weird. The life bar is different in this trailer. They have numbers instead of little like ticks.
Enchanted by sunshine. Mario has taken a break from the hopping, the bopping, and saving the princess to take a well-deserved vacation.
What's up, Alex? Thanks for stopping by.
Or so he thinks.
Play a demo at your local Target. Dude, I miss playing demos in stores. I'm pretty sure I played Mario Sunshine at demo kiosks like all the time. Oh, that blooper is also blue. Those ghosts are different colors. A lot of small differences in this trailer. That's really cool. Maybe I'll rewind this one and like kind of go look at that stuff. Yeah, the life meter, like I said, is completely different. All right, let's actually go back a little bit and see if we can spot some of these differences, if the quality allows it. So obviously, like I said, the life meter on the top right is different. Pretty sure you don't ever ride on a straight like white blooper in the game. It was always either yellow, red, or green, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Vlad, what's up? Good to see you too. Thanks for coming down. We're watching Nintendo's E3 2002 press conference. I wonder if in Fusion will have a leak of this E3 version. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. Shame Sunshine didn't get up the proper care for the Switch port. I mean, at least they made it widescreen, unlike Mario 64.
A break hopping, the bopping, and saving the princess to take a well-deserved vacation.
And then that's all the
Or so he
same.
thinks.
This music in the trailer is awesome. I don't think that windmill is there in the final game, right? Let me see. Hold on. That windmill right in the middle there, I don't think that's... Maybe it's moved over. I don't know. It seems a little off.
But this fall, something is
And like I said, this Blooper King thing, I don't know the name of it, is blue here, but in the final game, it's definitely white.
Mock in paradise. Throw
And then these little ghosts are pink, I think, in the final version of the game, not white like this. It's really interesting. They put the windmills on the top of the towers. Yeah.
fireballs at him, laugh at his mustache. But do not mess with his vacation.
I love seeing these little differences in these old trailers and stuff. I think that's all that I spotted in terms of differences. They were white? I could have sworn they were pink. Maybe I'm thinking of those like things that you... There's another 2002 game, by the way. So far they've shown Metroid Prime for Holiday 2002. They showed Sunshine. They showed what, Resident Evil 0 and also Eternal Darkness for 2002. So they've got a really good lineup for 2002 here.
Please welcome the man who created the Mario.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nintendo's own Shigeru Miyamoto.
There were some pink ones too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the ones that turn their platform, so maybe I forgot about the white ones. Oh, thanks for the follow, Alex.
Where are you?
Appreciate it. Hey, there's the boy. He's so happy. Miyamoto is always so happy. He's so young too here.
This year, I'd like to welcome all of you to Nintendo's presentation.
Miyamoto does not speak English as well as
I'd like to ask
Iwata does.
translate.
Yeah, 19 years ago, it's crazy.
今までから何度も言ってきました。I've told you this many times before. But this is the year that our leading characters really go to work in a number of new titles.
That's Bill Trennan. He was there. He was there for a long
Our
time.
latest title. もうちょっと遊びましょうね。せっかく
There he is, right behind the Mario Sunshine screen.
Here we get the game going over there.
I can't believe Bill Trennan has been there for so long. I don't know why I expected that to be different. It looks like this build they're playing is like a newer version because the windmill is moved and stuff like that. I was so excited for Sunshine back in the day. I still really like the game. I know a lot of people think it's one of like the worst 3D Mario games, and I wouldn't really argue against that, but it's still really fun to me. Oh yeah, okay, and the life bar is also normal here. So that trailer is from an older build. It's really fun to just see Miyamoto play these games. The music sounds like a different key. Only you would notice that, Yassi. It might just be the video as well, because it's so old. Release date is 64. I could see that. 64 is honestly one of my least favorite 3D Mario games. But I know it's a lot of people's favorite still. love the crowd getting excited about that.
This is kind of the basic idea of the game. There are actually a lot of tricks and puzzles in the game like this. So I hope you're all looking forward to Mario's latest adventure.
Yeah, the camera can be really bad, especially like TikTok clock and stuff.
So yeah, that's Mario for you. But I do have something else for you today.
Oh man, something else.
I'd like to introduce you to a little friend of mine who you've all been so kind to talk so much about. Let's take a look at The Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah, Zelda. They always left this for last.
Every game has a story. Only one is a legend.
It was cool. Yeah, Wind Waker. Was this another 2002 game? Tengu, hey, how's it going?
Quest over land and sea through a vivid world of adventure unlike anything you've ever
I'm
seen.
gonna pause it for a second. No, they did not show off Kirby Tilt and Tumble, but they did mention it because they mentioned how they had the motion controls, and they talked about Kirby Tilt and Tumble, but they did not show it at all. So, yeah, thanks for showing up, by the way, Tengu. Appreciate it. Also, I want to mention Wind Waker and this music. I didn't realize they used this music for like every single Zelda trailer because they also used it for Twilight Princess when they first showed that off. But yeah, it's amazing how people's opinions change about Wind Waker over time. And yeah, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess will almost certainly come out on the Switch.
This year, the legend is reborn.
So they were planning on this to be also 2002, huh? Wind Waker has such a good art style, it's crazy. Yeah, I think they're gonna do a Zelda like 25th or 35th anniversary thing, and that's when they'll show off the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess package.
The legend of Zelda.
Yeah, Mark, that's what I definitely expect. I expect them to move to that. Even though it's also Metroid's 35th anniversary, I wish they would do that.
Thank you. In my work, there have been many cases when I have not used graphically realistic expression. But I have always demanded that the very nature of what we were expressing be based in reality.
I like how they're
With the design of the latest Zelda game,
kind of talking about
I truly
the
feel we have created
less
something
than
that's both
realistic
unique in
graphics.
look and that boasts a realistically expressive nature.
Oh yeah, you're right. It didn't have a name yet.
So now I'm actually going
crazy.
to play it for you.
And Mario's 35th is going to be done. Mario's going to be dead in about a month, so R.I.P. Mario, right?
So it's a little bit
Zelda's
hard to
next.
run a dungeon.
Oh, that noise.
So you've got the
I miss when Miyamoto would play these games on stage. Oh, the crowd is just like, whoa!
This time, as you notice, the enemies drop their weapons. Link can actually pick them up and use them.
This was whoa. This was a feature that wasn't really utilized a ton, right? Like, I mean, you could pick up those big weapons, but it wasn't super useful.
And as we would expect,
Breath of the Wild ripoff, that's right. Wind Waker ripped off Breath of the Wild.
a little bit deeper into the dungeon.
Dude, I want to go back and play this now. This game is so fun.
I think I'll drop my staff here and use my sword.
Oh, he skipped the heart. How could he skip the heart?
Oh, what's that? Somebody's here.
Mark, you got it. You got to play Wind Waker. It's really good. And yeah, pick it up for Switch when it comes out. I'm gonna say when because I'm that confident. The sword is gone. And no Wii U, I guess, too, either. Like, no Wii U either, Mark. They fixed a lot of the annoying stuff in the Wii U HD remake, which is cool. And I assume that's just the one that they're going to release on Switch. Oh no, he's having some demo issues just like with Skyward Sword. You used to play it through Wind Waker every year. I got off these past few years. I should go back to it. It's something that you do. Like, I play Metroid Prime a lot. Like, I don't play it every year, but I try to get to it like every couple of years. Alex, another Alex, rerun. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. We're about 35 minutes into this E3 press conference.
Oh. Created in real time, and you'll actually be able to play about 5 levels of this tomorrow on the show floor.
Damn. Oh, he had some demo issues. That's sad, but it's okay. It's not his first time. It's not going to be his last time either.
And there's actually some pretty funny scenes where Link picks up a barrel and kind of carries it over his head and does some fighting. So. I think if you don't pry away from the Ocarina of Time when we were just kind of moving images around on screen, I think that with the GameCube we finally have your very own cartoon that you can control however you
Kirby
want.
Air Ride is your favorite GameCube title? Last one I finished was the Bonk's Adventure remake. Oh, I really want to try that one. I really want to try that Bonk's Adventure remake. People talked about it and I heard it's really good. Kirby Air Ride is also really fun in the city mode.
World's most compact network game.
Network game? What's this? I didn't hear what they were talking about. Okay, GBA. Oh.
So we connect 4 Game Boy Advances for 4 players.
They're going to be showing Four Swords Adventures here.
And since I'm going to demo this for you today in 4-player mode, I'm going to need some help from the audience, I think. And I think you were trying to get somebody to come up here to help me. But as chance would have it, the man with whom I'm making this game, Mr. Okamoto, is here from Capcom today.
Wait.
So,
It's not Zelda. It's not Four Swords. It's a Capcom game. It's not Four Swords, right?
And as Mr. Iwata just introduced you, we are working on our Triforce board project. And we're doing this with both Sega and with Namco. If we could get the logo on screen, please. There we go.
Triforce board? I know, playing with Miyamoto would be so cool.
And this is the name of our arcade system. And I'm really, really anxious to bring games like F-Zero and Star Fox to the arcades.
Man, imagine talking about arcade games now in like a Nintendo Direct.
So I'd actually like to invite on stage from Sega, the man who is creating F-Zero for GameCube, Mr. Nakashi.
Dude, F-Zero GX. That game is so good. It's the last F-Zero game we got. I can't believe how good that game is.
The man who is creating the Star Fox shooting game, Mr. Haraguchi. Okay, let's start 4-player Zelda.
Okay, it is Four Sword. I thought for some reason it was something else.
Switches here to require 2 people, 1 to step on each switch.
Our arcades reopen on Friday. I'm so excited.
So we'll cross the bridge and
Dude, we don't really have any arcades here. Like, I don't know what the closest one is. Oh, we have some barcades, but nothing with like new stuff that I know of. Four Swords was such a fun concept. And I think they tried to kind of do it with Triforce Heroes again on the 3DS, but that one didn't catch on too much. All these, like, whenever they do multiplayer demos, it's always really fun because they get to interact in real time.
Well, since Mr. Remote is playing with his friends,
Last arcade he went to was Dave & Buster's. Hey, yeah, at least they have that Mario Kart game, and I've played that Luigi's Mansion arcade game as well. It's really fun.
about both cooperation and competition.
I feel like the Switch would be a perfect time to try the concept again. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Wii U is also... Wii U could have been a cool place to try that out, since you have a second screen, basically.
This is the basic idea of the game. And I think that if we were to keep playing, then maybe I might actually lose, and I don't really want that to happen. So why don't we cut this short here?
I need to pick up like 4 GBAs and all these link cables so I can try to play this.
I mean, these three guys are really, really good at games.
Tank. Yeah, I have that.
But, as you can see, there are even times when competitors can get together and cooperate once in a while. But, I don't know, maybe if you saw on screen, I think we may have been infighting a little bit there. Thank you very much.
Miyamoto always has so much fun during these presentations. Pokken tournament as well, yeah.
We're actually going to have Mr. Nakoshi stay on stage for just a moment here.
Like I said, they were really pushing
as you
this
all
whole
know,
connectivity
Mr. Nakoshi
thing.
from Sega is the creator of Super Monkey Ball and Daytona USA. And I understand that you're almost done with Super Monkey Ball 2.
Super Monkey Ball 2. That game is so good.
Actually, you'll be able to play on the show floor tomorrow, so I hope everybody will check it out.
Yeah, Super Monkey Ball 1 and Super Monkey Ball 2 are some of my favorite GameCube games.
And as we introduced earlier, I understand you brought some demo scenes of F-Zero for Nintendo GameCube. So today we're showing a little bit shorter version today. Tomorrow on the show floor you'll be able to see a longer one. Take a look.
Dude. And they're showing F-Zero. This was a pretty solid press conference. I enjoy it for Kirby and Amazing Mirror, but for Four Swords needed and now this delisted DSiWare port adds single player. Oh, that got delisted? I didn't even know that. I still have that downloaded. F-Zero GX, man. Give us a new F-Zero, or just port this, I don't care. Make this HD and add online. F-Zero GX is such a good game. Seeing Nintendo and Sega would have been wild in 2002? Yeah, I mean, this is basically when Sega left the console business, so they're helping out with Nintendo stuff. They released stuff on the Xbox a lot, on the PS2. I'm not really showing any gameplay of this, but this trailer is kind of cool. Yeah, the game is really hard too.
Amongst Nintendo games, and there are certainly game giants amongst those who create them. So in closing, as we look ahead now to the balance of this year, we are ready to meet every challenge. The needs of older gamers, the opening moves for online gaming, the conversion of connectivity from concept to real product, and a marketing program that sees us spending in the final 7 months of this year 25% more than we spent in the same time frame last year. And remember, last year we launched 2 new consoles. But at the end of the day, when you distill it all down, this remains a very simple business. And it is today, as it's always been, about games. Great games.
That's still their
So
message,
let's have one
even to this
final
day.
look at a group of great games that will prize a portion of GameCube's 150 title library.
Say what you will about Nintendo, but they've always been about games first. Super Mario Sunshine. That Mickey game. Animal Crossing's a big one. I forgot about that. Mario Party 4 was really fun. Wario World. We didn't talk about 1080, but that name changed, I think, when it finally released. 1080 Avalanche was the name. Metroid Prime, baby. So that animation was not there. Yeah, this E3 was packed to the brim. They showed off so many GameCube games. It's crazy. Like this, honestly, I thought Switch's 2017 might have been one of the best years Nintendo has ever had, but it sounds like 2002 was right up there. Some Soul Calibur. What's this? Ace Combat. From Bomberman Jetters. Dragon's Lair. Not sure what that X-Men fighting game was. Gotta have your sports. Nintendo was kind of the home of also like the best wrestling games if you liked wrestling back then. Golf. Oh yeah, Disney made a lot of sports games on the GameCube too. I forgot about that. Some Beat Spikers from Sega. Fight Night. Yeah, Mickey Mouse was an exclusive, so I think that's why they tried to really push it. They really pushed the third-party stuff in these sizzle reels. They did have hockey on the GameCube, but I guess it wasn't popular back then, huh? A Mortal Kombat game? It always blows my mind that UFC was also a thing back then. UFC seems like a much more modern thing. I don't know what any of these puzzle games are. Go Jets. I'm a Hurricanes fan since I'm in North Carolina. Evolution Worlds, man, that was my guilty pleasure game back then. RPGs are the one area where I think, and maybe shooters, where the GameCube really kind of fell short compared to the PS2 and Xbox. But it had so many good games. One year in with 150 plus games. That's not bad. Is that pretty much it? Yep. That looks like that's the end. So, let's just see, let's see what this last minute is about.
Yeah, we actually erased it. So
they're meeting Miyamoto.
Wait, how do you? It's no light.
There's no light?
There's no light in
Oh well. I'll never get the picture.
Okay. They're just trying to get some time with Miyamoto there.
Did you say I love GameCube? Playing GameCube?
I love GameCube.
Awesome.
Wow. Okay, that was kind of cute. All right. That was Nintendo's E3 2002 press conference. It was pretty good. I think that was like a really, really solid press conference for the time. Like when I think about old press conferences, I think about a lot of numbers, a lot of charts. That was not really filled with numbers and charts. It was mostly games throughout the entire thing. You hated their guts. Are you talking about Carolina Hurricanes? Oh, Amanda, you're back. I think we just finished. The press conference just finished, but I'll go through a little recap. Tengu says, I mainly remember Tales of Symphonia that came to PS2 and Baten Kaidos and PSO episode 1 and 2. Yeah, for RPGs. There was also Lost Kingdoms. I don't know if you'd count that as an RPG, but there's Lost Kingdoms 1 and 2. What other? There was like a Mystic Heroes was another RPG. Evolution Worlds, but not a ton. Not a ton at all. Yeah, that's okay. I'll be doing more streams like this, I think, in the future. I want to go through a bunch. So yeah, like, okay, let's go through what Nintendo showed off. Actually, you know what? We'll go back to the video and kind of recap what they were talking about here. So started off talking about kind of sales and stuff. But then they got to some games, and the first game they showed off, they talked about the partnerships with Namco and whatever. But the first game they showed off was the big hitter. They showed off Metroid Prime, which is huge, right? This is a 2002 game. And obviously for me, that's like the biggest selling point. So huge starter. And then they moved to a couple other mature games from Capcom. They had Resident Evil and Resident Evil Zero. And they also showed off Eternal Darkness. So right out the gate, they had 3 kind of like big mature games. And they talked about Game Boy Advance for a little bit with all this stuff. Showed a bunch of Game Boy Advance games. They went into talking about online and how Nintendo is not really getting into the online game yet, which is kind of hilarious. Animal Crossing was another big one they showed off, which I don't know if they said this was 2002 or not, but if it was, like, another big hitter for 2002. That was a long trailer, now that I'm, like, scrubbing through. You owned Phantasy Star Online and couldn't figure it out? I never got into it. I was not someone that played a lot of online video games back then. So, I mean, I totally understand that. And I kind of understand Nintendo's reasoning now. I wasn't like big into online games. Star Fox, they showed off. That's another 2002 release. And then they had like a little sizzle reel with Mario Party. This Mickey Mouse game, Wario Land, and they showed some Sunshine, and then Miyamoto came up, played some of that. They showed Wind Waker 2, another 2002 game. So, okay, they had Metroid Prime, they had Resident Evil Zero, they had Eternal Darkness, they had Animal Crossing, Wind Waker, like Mario Party 4, Wario Land, the Mickey game. Those were all 2002 releases. Sunshine, did I say Sunshine? Like, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of good games. Like I said, I don't know which ones got delayed or not. Here's Four Swords. And they showed some F-Zero. This might have come out in 2003. I'm not sure. That seemed early. And then at the end, they showed off the sizzle reel. So, I mean, like I said, overall, really good. And I said this early on, like when I first started this stream. I'm not sure if a lot of you were here for that, but I kind of want to go through every single press conference Nintendo's had for E3, maybe minus the directs. I want to maybe stop before the directs start, or maybe we can do the directs too. I'm not sure at this moment, but I want to go back, watch them all, and then kind of rank them. Maybe do like a tier list of Nintendo's E3 press conferences from 2002 to 2015, 14, whenever they stopped doing those E3 press conferences. I think that'd be really fun. And this one, 2002, so far, it's at the top of the list because it's the first one we watched. I think it'd be really good. It sounds fun, cool, sounds super awesome. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one first. I think it's it's kind of cool. I kind of watched some of this 2002 press conference before I did this stream, but I really haven't seen any other ones moving forward. I haven't like rewatched any of the other ones. So it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really fun to go back and see what Nintendo had to offer. And they'll always be like, as we get earlier and like newer and newer, I'll remember more, but hope to catch the next one. Yeah. Hopefully I'm not like, it's not going to happen too long from now. Like I want to kind of go through these in like maybe a month. I don't know. So I'll be streaming some more. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Mark. Thanks for being in the chat. Appreciate you, chatting it up for sure. And, thanks to everybody that came by as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this idea. Like I said, I'll probably do more, probably around the same time whenever I do it. But I'll make sure to announce it on Twitter. And I assume everybody here is following me on Twitter. But if you're not, my link is in the channel. And it's just the same there. But yeah. I'm going to keep doing it for sure. So appreciate everyone stopping by. I think I'm going to end it there. Pretty short. Like we went about an hour and a half or so. But I expect that's how it's going to go for these. Maybe in the future we can watch a couple at a time. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Like I said, and I will see you guys later. I don't know how to raid or do any of that stuff yet. So maybe we'll do that next time if there's anybody online. But yeah. Anyway, thanks.